Would you ever make a deal with the supernatural just to get stronger, luckier, or more loved? I did, and I've been paying the price ever since. This is the story of how one decision made out of curiosity and desperation ruined everything. If you think spiritual power comes without consequences, think again. It all started when I was in seventh grade, just entering junior high. I was still young, but already deeply fascinated by the spiritual world. That curiosity led me to seek a spiritual teacher. Eventually, I met three: Uncle Rahman, Mr. Idris, and Mr. Kareem. The first was Uncle Rahman, who turned out to be the grandfather of my classmate Yusuf. Through Yusuf, I was introduced to him. I told Uncle Rahman that I wanted to learn about spiritual knowledge, but he shook his head and said I was too young, too immature to responsibly learn such things. Still, he didn't dismiss me completely. He offered an alternative: to begin with martial arts training. So every Saturday night, I started learning traditional martial arts from him, styles like Lankatiga, Lankadua, and Silat Harimau. We trained to the rhythm of Minangkabau drums. I was serious about it, but after only 4 sessions, Uncle Rahman passed away. Yusuf and I were devastated. Without him, we stopped training. Time passed. I moved up a grade and met someone else who shared my interest in spiritual things: Faisal, who had just graduated junior high. We hit it off, and soon he introduced me to his father, Mr. Idris. Just like with Uncle Rahman, I expressed my desire to learn spiritual knowledge. But Mr. Idris was different. He agreed, on one condition: I had to promise never to use the knowledge for showing off, joking around, or anything harmful. I agreed. Every Thursday night, I visited Mr. Idris's house. Fazal would pick me up because I didn't have a vehicle. One night, around 10 p.m., Mr. Idris went to his room and came back with a small knife inscribed with Arabic script and 2 gemstone rings, one blue, one green. "This knife," he said, "holds a love spell. Read the mantra here and it can attract others." Then he asked Faisal and me to remove our shirts and sit in a row facing him. He threaded the knife through the rings, then placed all 3 into a glass of salt water. He then brought out a machete, incense, and a wooden stick. With 2 swift strikes, he split the stick in half. His strength was shocking. Then, in a dimly lit room, he lit incense and began chanting in a low voice. Suddenly, we heard a loud knock against the wooden floor, as if something hit it with great force. Faisal and I were startled. When we looked up, Mr. Idris stood before us, machete in hand. To our horror, he began dragging the blade across his neck, chest, and stomach. I was drenched in cold sweat, but the machete, despite appearing razor sharp, left only faint red marks, as if it had just brushed his skin. Then he ran the blade across my shoulder, down to my middle finger, and from my throat to my navel. He cut strands of my and Faisal's hair from the top right and top left sides of our heads. The ritual ended. Mr. Idris, in Sundanese, said, "I haven't passed down my knowledge. I've grafted it onto your bodies." He gave me the green gemstone ring and Faisal the blue one. "These rings," he warned, "contain power. Never bring them into the bathroom. Also, if you encounter a woman 3 times while wearing this ring, chances are she will fall in love with you." I was like, "What?" I came here wanting invincibility, not to become a ladies' man. Over the weeks, I visited Mr. Idris 3 times. At first, I didn't notice any changes, but on August 17th, Indonesia's Independence Day, our village was holding a parade. Faisal couldn't come. He had gone to Padang 3 days earlier for work. While walking to the field, I ran into an older girl from school. We chatted, watched the flag ceremony together, and parted ways. Then, something bizarre happened. Some villagers from a neighboring area performed a possession ritual. One of them bit a live chicken, its neck and chest, until it died. Then he ate it, tearing through its organs, covered in blood. But the scariest part? He crawled straight at me, kind of stopped inches from my face, and smiled, his teeth stained red, bits of flesh still between them. He tilted his head side to side, staring at me. I was frozen, terrified. Eventually, adults noticed and helped me. After calming down, I went to buy food and saw the same schoolgirl again. We exchanged smiles. Later that day, we crossed paths a 3rd time. That's when it hit me. The ring. Mr. Idris had said if I met a girl 3 times while wearing it. Sure enough, when I got home and opened Facebook, I had a message from her. I didn't respond. Later at school, Yusuf nudged me and said, "Someone's crushing on you." "Who?" I asked. He just showed me her profile. But I wasn't ready for a relationship, so I politely declined. Meanwhile, Faisal sent me a video from Padang. He was getting a tattoo, but the needle wouldn't pierce his skin. It just wouldn't go in. Was it the ritual? When I asked Mr. Idris, he only smiled, but I still wasn't convinced. Maybe the machine was just broken. A few days later, Faisal messaged me again. My ring's gone. At the next visit, I told Mr. Idris, "It's fine," he said. "I can always fill another ring." Eventually, I graduated junior high but decided not to continue school. Faisal came home for my graduation party, then returned to Padang. I was unemployed for a few months. One Tuesday night, while hanging out with friends, we heard a loud bang on the door. One of my friends said, "Hey, did you see it?" The thing that hit the door had fangs down to its chest. I brushed it off as a cat or something. I checked. Nothing was there. But shortly after, terrible news came. Faisal and his friend Malik had been in a crash. Malik died on the way to the hospital. Faisal was in critical condition. We all gathered at Malik's house. Around 3 a.m., his body arrived and was buried that same morning. By 3:30 p.m., we got word. Faisal had also passed away. I was devastated. That evening, we waited for Faisal's body. While standing on the road, I smelled a strong scent, one that reminded me of death. But Faisal's house was still over 50 meters away. 15 minutes later, the ambulance arrived. That night, Faisal was buried. He had worked with my cousin, and since both he and Malik were now gone, I took over Faisal's position. Another guy from Padang took Malik's. One day, that new worker asked me, "Hey, what happened to the guy who was sitting on the stairs? The one in red shirt, jeans, backward cap?" Everyone froze. No one matching that description had been there, except Faisal before he died. Was Faisal's spirit still around? I didn't last long at that job. Eventually, I moved to a factory with a performance-based pay system. There was lots of work. I wanted more money, but my energy had limits. That's when I remembered mystical implants, Susuk. My cousin introduced me to Mr. Fry, Kareem. I told him I wanted to use Susuk to increase strength. He agreed, if I paid for the gold needle myself. On Thursday night, I returned with a 1mm gold implant. Mr. Kareem performed the ritual, piercing my skin with a keris and needle, embedding the Susuk, then writing something on my back with a pin. Afterward, I stayed over. That night, I heard clear laughter, a kuntilanak. "The spirits are just playing," Mr. Kareem said. I invited them to protect us during the ritual. I shivered. The next morning, my whole body ached. I felt like I'd worked all night, even though I hadn't done anything. Back in Padang, the effect was real. I felt superhuman. My work output tripled. I even bought a motorbike within 3 months. But I never felt tired during work, only after. One day, a coworker became possessed, strangling herself near the prayer room. A spiritual healer came and said the factory was swarming with spirits, and her mind had been left empty, an open target. That same night at 2 a.m., I saw a face staring at me through a vent. Just half a face, eyes bulging. I told my friend Harris, who just laughed, maybe it just wants to say hi. The next day, I collapsed. The doctor said it was severe typhoid. I was out for 2 weeks, close to death. I started wondering, was something else working through me during those intense work days? The money I earned, though triple, vanished. Always gone. Harris pulled me aside. "You've been acting weird. Tell me the truth. What are you using?" I confessed. "Susuk." "Dude," he said, "we need to get rid of it, now." I told him the only condition was to eat black sticky rice. So Harris bought me a cake made with it. I ate it. Nothing happened at first. The next day, the ring from Mr. Idris vanished. My performance crashed, worse than before. Even now, I never fully recovered. My efforts produce no results. Money slips away. Always gone. So I wonder, has the Susuk really left me? Or am I still paying the price? I pray that this suffering can cleanse the sins I committed through those forbidden paths. My message? Never use Susuk. Never call on spirits. It's not worth it. Only involve God in your desires. Never seek power through anything else. Let me know if you want a version. If this story creeped you out or made you think, drop a comment below. Hit that like button if you've ever felt a chill from the supernatural. And for more real horror stories like this one, subscribe because I've got more to tell.